SwayamPrabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Dear students, you are welcome in this class. I am Dr. Dinesh Kumar, Principal Scientist, Division of Agronomy, ICAR, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, Pusa Campus, New Delhi. Today we are going to have lecture number 8 of the course Agronomy of Oilseed, Fiber and Sugar Crops. The topic of the lecture is Insect Pest and Disease Management in Crop and Processing of Soybean Produce. So overall learning objective of this lecture are to make you understand about the insect pests and diseases that are there in the soybean crop and how they can be managed to stop their damage. Then we will also see the processing of soybean produce, how we can add the value to the produce of soybean. Now some difficult words, that is glossary. Active ingredient. Active ingredient are the chemicals in a pesticide formulation that chiefly act to control the pests. So it is the main principle in a commercial pesticide, maybe insecticide, which is actually responsible for action of the product against the insect. It must be identified by name on the pesticide products label together with its percentage by weight. Then chemical name, the official name given to a chemical compound to distinguish it from other chemical compounds. Disease cycle, the sequence of events that occurs between the time of infection and the final expression of the disease. Disease resistance, ability of the plant to survive and grow without symptoms of disease that has infected it. So what is happening? Plant breeders are trying to develop the varieties which are tolerant to different kind of diseases in soybean crop. Disease severity, the degree of infection of disease in an individual plant refers to the area of plant tissue affected by the disease. Dose or amount or quantity, the measured quantity of a pesticide. Often the size of the dose determines the degree of effectiveness, or in the case of poisoning of non-target organism, the degree of injury. So for most of the insect pests and disease control, if you are using chemicals or pesticide, the optimum dose is fixed. It should not be used at lower dose or higher dose to get the best results. Next is your formulation. A mixture of active ingredient combined with inert materials during the pesticide manufacturing process. Inert materials are added to improve the mixing and handling qualities of a pesticide. Pest control. Control of pests in field by selective cultivation methods influencing natural factors, predators, or by using chemical physical control methods. So overall in pest control, focus has to be on cultural practices, mechanical practices, biological means and other kind of options available. Pest outbreak, a sudden increase in a pest population resulting in economic damage to the crop. Pesticide, it is broad term that covers insecticide, herbicide, fungicide, bactericide, rodenticide. Rodenticide is used to kill the rats or squirrels, nematicide, etc. So all these chemicals make up the group pesticide, and pest, you know, anything which is harming our plant is a pest. Now we go into the detail of this subject, insect pest management. So if we see that soybean is infested by large number of insect pests in the field as well as in the storage. More than a dozen, means more than 12 of insects like stem borers, defoliators and sucking pests are considered important attacking crop from seedling to maturity. So pests or insects can come at any stage of the crop. And you can see in storage, Cadra cotella and Lesioderma sericon damage the soybean seeds. So it is not that insect pests come only in the field, but they can also come under storage conditions and do the damage of the crop. Now, major insect of national importance in soybean. So foliage feeders here means that they are feeding the leaves of the plant or damaging the leaves of the plant. So for example, green semi-looper, Chrysodexis acuta, Moses undata, Rivula species, Jassonia gamma. Then tobacco caterpillar. You would surprise that name is tobacco, but it is coming in soybean. So these are multifagous insect. They can come to many crops. So like tobacco caterpillar is Spodoptera litura. Gram pot borer also damages leaves. So it is Heliothes armigera. Bihar hairy caterpillar Spilosoma oblique. Leaf folder Hedalapta indicata. Leaf miner Aproramia modicella. Then grey weevil M. under postulus. Now stem borer, maybe girdle beetle, maybe stem fly. These are two important stem borers. And then pot borers, gram pot borer, Heliothes armigera, pink pot borer, Cydia ticora. And then sap feeder. Sap feeder here means they suck the sap or juice from the plant parts. So white fly, Bemisia tabaci, Jacid E. terminalis, and Thrips tabaci, and then green sting bug, Nezara viridula. So we will discuss in detail their damaging symptoms and control measures. So let us start with the white grub. So white grub is quite dangerous insect pest of soybean, and it affects many other crops also. It is very much polyphagous kind of insect, and damaging stage is the grub. White grub, it is C-shaped, and its head is, you can see orange kind of head in color, and rest most of the insect is white. So it has three different stages. One is egg. After egg, it will hatch to make grubs. So grub is kind of caterpillar, and then adults. So adults actually they live on trees or around the field, and these grubs feed on plant roots in rows. So it is a soil inhabiting insect. You are seeing on the right side the picture of the grub. So it mostly stays in the soil, and it eats the roots of the plant. The grubs feed voraciously under low soil moisture conditions. So particularly under dry conditions, one can find more infestation of white grub. How to control this white grub? So installation of light trap or pheromone traps for collection and destruction of white grub adults. So if we kill the adults, then there will not be eggs or grubs. So therefore, it is better to control the adults. Seed treatment with imidacloprid 48 Fs at the rate of 1.25 ml per kg seed, because seed is going to stay in soil. So this, and then roots will develop and grub will come to the roots. So if you have treated with insecticide the seed, then it can control the grub. Soil application of chlorpyrifos 2.5% granular at the rate of 16 kg per hectare between rows at 25 to 30 days after sowing. So one was preventive measure, that is treating the seed with imidacloprid, and this is the curative measure. Once you have sown the crop and then you want to control, so you can use chlorpyrifos at the rate of 16 kg per hectare granules. Next important insect pest of this soybean crop is tobacco caterpillar Spodoptera litura. After hatching from eggs, larvae remain gregarious. Gregarious here means in groups for 4 to 5 days and feed on chlorophyll of leaves. So it eats the chlorophyll of the leaves, and infested plants can be easily spotted in the field. Here spotted means you can easily see them in the field. Later on, larvae disperse on neighboring plants and damage the leaves of cutting big holes. So you can see on the right side, on the leaf, around leaf tip, you can see the egg mass, and this will develop into larvae. On the picture, this picture, you can see the larvae, they are in group, and then they will spread to infest other leaves also. And they are cutting the leaf. You can see here, they cut the leaves. What can be done? It is better to go for integrated management of this pest, use of recommended seed rate, install insect-specific pheromone trap at 4 to 5 locations in the field, and use bird purchase at 8 to 10 locations in the field, facilitating easy access for birds to feed on insect larvae. So on the right side, you can see the insect larvae, it is fully grown. If you are having facilities to attract the birds, then these birds can eat these caterpillar and control. Regular monitoring and destruction of egg mass caterpillars at early stage of insects. So you can see these are the egg masses, and they can be easily collected by individual. And then spray with biological pesticide, that is SINPV 250 LE per hectare. This is the dose, or Bacillus thuringiensis at the rate of 1 liter per hectare. So this is a kind of biological control of this pest. And then if needed, spray chlorantraniliprole 18.5 SC 150 ml, indoxacarb 15.8 EC 333 ml, or profenofos 50 EC 1000 ml, and mix either of these in 500 liter of water and spray in 1 hectare area. Now next important insect of soybean is gram pod borer. So you see, name is gram, means chickpea, but it is also infesting soybean. Many times students get confused that its name is gram, that means it will come to gram. No, it can go to many other crops also. So one is soybean. So initially feed on young developing pods, but subsequently damages pods and seeds also. Considerable variability in the insect with respect to color, pattern of body, stripes and sizes. So on the right side, you can see the kind of damage being done by pod borer. So it also eats leaves, and it also damages the pods and seeds. Now integrated management of gram pod borer is use insect specific pheromone trap at 4 to 5 locations in the field, use bird purchase at 8 to 10 locations in the field, facilitating birds to feed on larvae. Regular monitoring and destruction of egg mass or caterpillars in early stages of the insect. Spray the crop with biological pesticides. Biological pesticides are also available for this insect. HANPV 250 LE per hectare, or Bacillus thuringiensis or Beauveria bassiana at the rate of 1 liter per hectare. It can be sprayed. If needed, spray chlorantraniliprole 18.5 SC 150 ml, or indoxacarb 15.8 EC, that is 333 ml, or profenofos 50 EC 1000 ml, and mix them in 1 liter of water and spray. And you need to choose either one of these. Next is gram semilooper. So crop is infested by a complex of semilooper, and there are a number of semiloopers like C. acuta, D. orichalcea and G. jama. There are number of variants of this insect, and differing in color, shape and size. Young larvae initially cut small holes on foliage and later on completely devour the plant. You can see that this insect larvae, this is the larvae of this insect. In the event of heavy incidence, they also damage buds, flowers and young pods. That means they do not restrict themselves only to the leaves, but they can affect other parts of the plant like buds, flowers and young pods. Its infestation is found to be more in the areas with less rain coupled with high temperature and humidity. So you can see it has completely eaten the leaf here. Now, integrated management of green semi-looper, use recommended seed rate, avoid higher plant population as it attracts more insects causing heavy infestation. Therefore, better to have optimum plant population by having the right spacing and right seed rate. Avoid higher use of nitrogenous fertilizer as it invites more insects. So, better to go for balanced fertilization, particularly addition of phosphorus and potash as per recommendation should be there. It will make plant stronger to resist the attack of this particular insect. Use bird perches at 8 to 10 locations in the field, facilitating birds to feed on insect larvae. Also, regular monitoring of the field and destruction of egg mass, caterpillar at early stage is necessary. And like in earlier cases, now also biological insecticides are available for green semi-looper, that is Bacillus thuringiensis or Beauveria bassiana at the rate of 1 liter per hectare at an early stage. Spray chlorantraniliprole 18.5 SC at the rate of 150 ml per hectare and 4 to 5 days before flowering. Now, next is girdle beetle. Girdle beetle typical infestation seen 25 days after sowing. Stem boring insect means it makes holes in the stem. Hatching from eggs laid during July and first fortnight of August. Infested plants show typical drooping and drying due to girdles made by the female for egg laying. So, you can see here the problem with the stem. Integrated management, if possible to control the girdle beetle, plant trap crop like dhencha on field boundaries to attract beetle, thereby protecting the crop. Destroy affected plant parts during early stage to break the life cycle of the insect. If needed, spray profenophos 50 EC 1000 ml in 500 liter of water. Now, IPM strategies in soybean. So, you have seen the important insect pests, how they are damaging the crop. Overall, you can easily visualize that these insect pests have to be controlled. Problem is, if you adopt any one single chemical continuously, then it is not good, because insect pests may develop resistance against that particular chemical. So, it is better to go for some other alternative, because chemicals also pollute the environment and they may not be good for soil health, they may not be good for human health also. Therefore, we need certain strategies by which we can decrease the use of chemicals or pesticides in the control of insect pests. So, best alternative as suggested by many people is to go for integrated pest management. And in integrated pest management, variety of strategies or options are combined in optimum way. These options may include your agronomic practices called cultural practices, mechanical measures or some chemical measures or some biological measures. We combine them, and chemical use should be the last option in IPM. So, for example, we can start with summer deep plowing. Summer deep plowing is very integral part of this IPM package. So, it facilitates exposing the hibernating insects to extreme heat and predatory birds. Proper sowing time is also important to avoid many insect pests. Crop sown during June end escapes damage due to stem fly, whereas girdle beetle infestation can be minimized by delayed sowing in July. So, it depends upon the condition in which a particular insect may be damaging more. So, if a farmer, if a person thinks that there is stem fly attack every year, so better to go for early sowing, and in areas where one find attack of girdle beetle, let us go for sowing in July. So, that is how one can manipulate the sowing time to escape the insects. Number 3 is optimum or recommended seed rate. spacing and plant population. So this is really necessary to optimize the plant population. If plant population is too high, too crowded, then it generally invites more invasion of insect pests. But we need to keep our population optimum. Higher seed rate result in more densely populated soybean crop, which attracts more insects and promotes lodging also. So hence optimum seed rate of 60 to 80 kilogram per hectare depending on seed size and germination with spacing 30 to 45 into 5 is recommended. So soybean should be sown at right spacing using right seed rate. Selection of insect resistant or tolerant variety. This is the cheapest method or best method to avoid the invasion of insect pests. So varieties recommended for a particular agroclimatic zone should only be used. Cultivation of marginally less yielding but insect resistant or tolerant variety is always remunerative. So there are good number of varieties which are available being resistant to insect pests, certain insect pests. One can choose the varieties based upon the resistance against the insect pest. Next is balanced nutrition, important part of IPM package, and use of excess nitrogen fertilizer leads to more incidence of defoliators and girdle beetle. So therefore use optimum quantity of recommended nutrients only, and there has to be a balance between NPK. Use of potassium improves crop health and provides resistance against insect pests. Next is destruction of infested plants, or you can call it sanitation of the field. Bihar and tobacco caterpillars are gregarious feeders. Initially, gregarious feeders means they feed in large group. So many larvae can be there, and infested plant can be easily seen. Removal of such plants prevents larvae to migrate to other plant. So better to nip in the bud. Likewise, girdle beetle infested plants are identified by dried portion above the girdles. Up to 30 to 45 days, remove the infested plant parts from below the girdles to destroy eggs and grubs. Next is light trap. Adult most of the defoliating larvae are nocturnal. Nocturnal means they come out in the night and are attracted towards the light source. These should be collected with the help of light traps and destroyed. By doing so, adults can be prevented from mating and laying eggs, and the crop can be saved. So this is really very cheap method, this light trap. Pheromone trap. Infestation by Helicoverpa armigera and Spodoptera litura can be minimized by specific pheromone traps. These traps not only help in monitoring the incidence but also for mass trapping the adult. Care should be taken that the pheromone septa are not touched with bare hands while fixing on the trap. Now, bird purchase. In order to exploit the potential of insect predatory birds, T-shaped bird purchase should be installed in the fields. So you can see here the perch is there, and this will attract many birds, and these birds can eat variety of caterpillars. So it is really a good biological management. Use of botanical insecticides. So number of botanical insecticides are available to control the insect pests, and neem oil being the most popular one, and water extract of Acacia arabica means leaves or seeds. Custard apple leaves or seeds can be taken. Datura leaves or seeds, eucalyptus leaves, etc. exhibit insecticidal action against defoliators, and many more botanical insecticides are available in the market. Different neem products like neem oil, seed extract, leaf extract act as feeding deterrent for leaf-eating insects. Consequently, insects get repelled from the crop. Continuous starvation leads to insect death in a few days. So these kind of botanicals are very important in agriculture or in soybean, and particularly under the condition of organic farming. In Madhya Pradesh, some farmers have opted to grow soybean by organic methods. So under those conditions, for management of insect pests, these botanical insecticides could be quite useful. Next is trap crop. So Anathum graveolens, that is commonly called as suva. Suva is excellent trap crop for most of the defoliators. Intercropping of soybean with suva in 6:1 or 12:2 ratio help in trapping the insects on suva. So it attracts the insects and saving the main crop of soybean. Insects on suva can be controlled with very less quantity of insecticide. Then use of microbial insecticides. Application of commercial available microbial insecticides like DPL, Biobit, Delphinatec or Larvocell, Biosoft, Dispel or Biorin and Beauveria bassiana fungus based, all these preparations, and they can be used at the rate of 1 kg per hectare to control these defoliating larvae. For control of tobacco caterpillar and gram pod borer, insect-specific nuclear polyhydrosis virus like Virin S, Biovirus S or Virin H or Biovirus H can be used for spraying. So commercial formulations of these microbial insecticides are actually available in the market. Now lastly, one can go for use of chemicals or insecticides. So chemical insecticides may be used when insect population reaches above the economic threshold level. Only when it is advisable to use insecticide. So what is economic threshold level? An economic threshold is insects population level or extent of damage at which value of crop destroyed exceed cost of controlling the pest. So there has to be some economic threshold before you use chemicals. Now use economic threshold level of some major insects. So you can see now in the first column you have insect, in the second column ETL and crop stage. So for example, blue beetle, 4 beetle per meter row length at 7 to 10 days old crop stage. So if it crosses this limit, then one can go for use of insecticide. Similarly, for green semi-looper, 4 larvae per meter row length at flowering or 3 larvae per meter row length at podding. Tobacco caterpillar, 10 larvae per meter row length before flowering, and gram pod borer, 10 larvae per meter row length at pod development. So these are the stages of ETL. Now after insect pest and management, let us switch over to the disease management. Disease management is also important. Like insects, certain plant diseases also damage the crop, and variety of diseases exist in soybean crop, particularly certain fungal diseases, bacterial diseases and also viral diseases. So we will discuss in detail all these diseases, their symptoms, their control measures and how we can control them effectively. So there are about 35 disease causing organism in soybean in world which are economically important. Major diseases in India are Rhizoctonia aerial blight, pod blight, charcoal rot, Myrothecium leaf spot, brown spot, target leaf spot, powdery mildew, alternaria leaf spot, Curvularia leaf spot, soybean rust, bacterial leaf blight and viral diseases like mosaic virus, yellow mosaic and leaf crinkle. So you can see there is definitely a long list of diseases in soybean. But it is not that all the disease will come every year in every location. It may be possible that in some place 2 or 3 diseases will come, and at some another place other kind of 2-3 diseases may come. The occurrence and severity of the diseases and resultant losses are dependent on the prevailing agroclimatic conditions and varieties. The extent of damage by disease will be governed by climatic conditions also. For example, certain diseases may show their infestation more under cloudy weather, under cool temperature, or some may show under high temperature. So, there are many conditions, and also there may be some varieties which are susceptible to a particular disease. And there may be problems with germination and crop stand are related to seed decay, damping off, and seedling blights. So, these problems will come at early stages, are often encountered in the field. Early planting, wet, poorly drained or compacted soils are easily prone to these diseases. Disease reduce the shoot length, pod and seed formation, total number of seeds and seed weight. So, finally, it will reduce or it will affect the seed yield of soybean adversely. Rhizoctonia aerial blight develops most often during periods of high rainfall, predominantly in the Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. So, you can see a particular disease may occur under particular climatic conditions in a specific zone or a specific state or a specific region. Now, we will discuss the important diseases of soybean and their control measures. So, first one is charcoal rot. It is caused by fungus Macrophomina phaseolina. So, this is the fungus which also causes dry root rot and stem blight. So, it also causes other two diseases, root rot and stem blight. Infection occurs during seedling emergence and early growth stages. Seedlings infection remain latent. Latent means hidden until environmental stresses, drought and high ambient temperature ranging from 30 to 40 degrees centigrade occur during the R1, that is flowering stage, to R7, mature pod growth stages. So, R1 and R7 are the reproductive growth stages of soybean that we have discussed in the last lecture. So, you can see the conditions under which this charcoal rot is more common, that is drought and high ambient temperature 30 to 40 degree centigrade. Imbalanced fertilizer use and high plant density influence disease prevalence and severity. Pathogen is soil and seed borne. Infected plants produce smaller leaflets than healthy plants. So, then you will have less area of the leaves for photosynthesis. As the disease advances, leaflet turns yellow, followed by browning and wilting. The brown leaves remain attached to the petioles. So, browning of leaves means the photosynthesis cannot happen in those leaves. A light gray of silver discoloration is visible in taproot and lower stem when plants are split open. You can split the plant longitudinally, and you can see these kind of symptoms in the plant. Black specks or microsclerotia will be visible in this tissue of the stem and taproot. So, inside this some black sclerotia can be there in the split stem. They can be easily seen by naked eyes, and control will be discussed later for this disease and other diseases. Next important disease is anthracnose and pod blight. It is caused by Coletotrichum truncatum. It occurs in severe form at time of continuous and prolonged drizzling, means continuous rain, light rains or showers along with the high humidity. Pathogen survives in seed, soil and crop residues. Sunken dark brown lesions develop on the cotyledons of seedlings. Seedling lesions may expand to the stem and kill young plants. Crop can be infected at all growth stages, but symptoms are evident in the early reproductive stage on stems, petioles and pods. Generally, irregular reddish to dark brown areas appeared on infected part. So, on the right side you can see the picture. The first one is diseased leaf, you can see the symptoms here, and the right one is the healthy leaf. There is no infection of anthracnose and pod blight on the right side. More you can see with clarity, this is brownish kind of spots on the leaves. So, later on these are covered by black fungal fruity bodies, that is acervuli with CT, minute black spines which can be seen by naked eyes. Foliar symptoms are expressed in the form of laminar veins necrosis, leaf rolling, yellowing of leaves with brown spot and defoliation of leaves under prolonged period. So, many a times this anthracnose can create havoc and it can significantly reduce the growth and yield of the soybean crop. Pods turn yellow to brown and twisting of pods can happen, you can see on the right side. Seed formation is also affected as they become brown, shriveled, there is undersized seeds and moldy, and sometimes seeds do not form in the pods. So, there may be failure of seed development. Sometimes leaves remain green while only pods turn yellow to brown. So, there may not be symptoms on the leaves, but pods can directly turn brown. Detailed control measures will be discussed later. We will discuss the control of all the diseases together. Next important disease is collar rot, Sclerotium rolfsi. It is a soil-borne disease favored under the hot and humid conditions. Pathogen attacks collar region. Collar region is actually the zone of the plant where stem and root join together. So, pathogen attack collar region and causes damping off in younger and collar rot in older plants, resulting drooping or wilting of plants. Drooping means just kind of hanging. The characteristic symptom is formation of white cottony mycelium with reddish brown to dark brown mustard size sclerotia on the surface. The disease can be prevented by seed treatment with recommended fungicides. All control measures we will discuss later. Next is yellow mosaic virus and white fly. Yellow mosaic virus is quite dangerous. Many times it can be quite devastating, and this virus is spread by white fly. So, they are interrelated actually, white fly and yellow mosaic virus. So, yellow mosaic disease is caused by mung bean yellow mosaic virus. See, the same virus which is infecting the mung bean crop can also affect the soybean crop. So, initially small yellow patches on young leaves. So, right side you can see small yellow patches are there or kind of say growth. The next trifoliate leaves emerging from growing apex show irregular yellow and green patches. Yellow discoloration slowly increases and newly formed leaves may turn yellow. Infected leaves show severe mottling and crinkling. Crinkling can also be there. Infected plants mature late and bear a few flowers or pods, means flowering or podding can be reduced. Pods are small and distorted. Early infection causes death of the plant before the seed set, and virus is spread by white fly Bemisia tavesi. So, what can be done? Carry the seed treatment with thiamethoxam 30 Fs at the rate of 10 ml per kg of seed, or imidacloprid 48 Fs at the rate of 1.25 ml per kg of seed. So, either of these insecticide can be used for the seed treatment. To control white fly, spray with thiamethoxam 25 Wg at the rate of 100 gram per 500 liter water per hectare and immediately after symptoms visible. So, this way we can control the white fly which transmit virus from one plant or infected plant to the healthy plant. So, this should be controlled. Further, certain prophylactic or preventive spray with any of the above mentioned chemicals may be given at 21 days after sowing. Now, next important disease is rust, that is Phacospora, Phacopsora pachyergi, caused by fungus and common at flowering stage. Rains during July to September lower the temperature, and humidity 80 to 90% increases the incidence. Night or morning fog also increases the possibility of rust infection. Pathogen survives mainly in collateral hosts. Initially, chlorotic gray-brown spots appear on leaves. So, you can see on the right side rust symptoms. Slowly, spots increase in size to form the pustules. Eventually, leaves turn brown within short time, causing early defoliation and reduction in number of pods, seeds and seed weight. Presence of loose brown powder owing to rupture of pustules is a characteristic symptom. Now, we will see how all these fungal diseases or viral diseases can be controlled. So, soybean cultivation during Rabi and summer facilitate disease cycle of rust pathogen. To break this, soybean cultivation is recommended only during Kharif season. Removal of self-grown plants of Rabi season is also necessary because they can carry the inoculum. Avoid using seed of affected area for sowing in the next season. Use clean and healthy seed which is free from the diseases, and also go for the seed treatment. And basal application of zinc sulphate at the rate of 25 kg per hectare along with boron at the rate of 0.5 kg per hectare reduces the infection of charcoal rot. So, this balanced nutrition has a very important role in managing the diseases. Use of resistant or tolerant variety is yet another strategy, and not only this, one should go for crop rotations. Crop rotations, that means sequential cropping can be done and intercropping can be done to prevent these diseases. There are n number of examples in which the diseases have been controlled by adopting the crop sequences or crop rotations as well as intercropping or mixed cropping. So, now some recommended chemicals can also be used to control these diseases. So, for example, in the first column you have chemical seed treatment, then dose, and then diseases that can be controlled. So, you can see the first chemical is thiophenante and methyl 45%, and then next is pyraclostrobin 5% FS, and these can be used at 3 gram per kg seed. This is for seed treatment. Next is carboxin 37.5% plus therum 37.5%, and it can be taken 3 gram per kg seed for treatment, and therum plus carbendazim 2:1 ratio 3 gram per kg seed, and then panflufen plus trifloxystrobin 38 Fs at the rate of 3:1 ratio and 1 ml per kg. And you can see all these seed treatment chemicals can control many diseases. See the last column where these diseases can be prevented, like charcoal rot, anthracnose, pod blight, collar rot, purple seed stain, frog eye, and leaf spot etc. can be controlled by this seed treatment. And seed treatment can also be done for white fly, but for white fly you need to go for insecticide. All above were the fungicide, and these two are insecticide like thiamethoxam 30 Fs 10 ml per kg seed for yellow mosaic virus control, means it will control the white fly. And then also imidacloprid can be used. Imidacloprid 48 Fs 25 ml per kg seed, it can be used to control the white fly. Then foliar spray can also be done first during initiation of the disease and second after 15 days based on disease severity. For example, fungicide hexaconazole 5% EC, 800 ml can be taken and per hectare, and it can be dissolved in 500 liters water and sprayed to control the rust. Similarly, this tabuconazole plus sulfur 1 kg per hectare for control of anthracnose and pod blight. Then tabuconazole 625 ml per hectare or pyraclostrobin 25% W/W Wg 500 gram per hectare. So, either of these can be used to control the charcoal rot. Then spray 20-25 days after sowing as preventive spray and immediately after initiation of the symptoms. And in the end, you can see here thiamethoxam 25W 100 gram per hectare can be used for spraying to control the yellow mosaic virus. So, these are the chemical control measures or particularly use of fungicides to manage the diseases of soybean and also to manage the stem the white fly so as to control the spread of yellow mosaic virus. So, after insect pest and disease management, now suppose our crop is ready for harvesting. So, it is time to learn about harvesting and threshing. As many of you know that a stitch in time saves 9. If a work is accomplished at right time, then you will get maximum profit. If that work is not done at right time, one may lose the profit or one may be in loss. Same holds true for harvesting also. In case of soybean, if the crop is harvested at right time by right method, then recovery of the pods or recovery of the grain will be more. If it is harvested at over mature state, over maturity is there, then one can lose certain pods, certain seeds can be lost, and there may be infestation by insect pests also. Similarly, if it is harvested at immature stage, then quality of the pods, then quality of the seed will be poor. So, this all suggests that crop should be harvested at right time. Similarly, right method, number of methods are available for harvesting the soybean. Some people we can see that they uproot the plants, some cut by the sickles, cut by some other implements, some can go for even harvesting machines are available, multi-crop harvesters are available, they can be used. Similarly, for threshing also, there are lot many options for the farmers. They can bring it to the floor, use some machines for threshing. Threshers are available for this job. However, still some people thresh the crop with routine methods that may not be scientific. After threshing, it is necessary that the crop should be sun dry. Drying in sun is necessary to bring it to the right moisture, and then cleaning is equally important. The crop should be cleaned well, and after cleaning you can go for packaging and then storage. So, this is all story about the harvesting and threshing of the soybean crop. Let us see more. The optimum time of harvesting is important as delayed harvesting causes yield loss due to the shattering. Shattering of pods can happen that may reduce the yield. Initiation of change of pod color. One can easily identify the right time of harvesting that you can see the change in color that is physiological maturity. So, this is definitely an indicator to judge the right time of harvest. At this time, the moisture percentage of soybean seed is around 14 to 16%. Students can remember that the moisture percent at this stage is 14 to 16%. Harvesting can be done when 95% pod changes color from green to yellow. That is the best indicator of harvesting time. The harvested soybean crop after sun drying for 2 to 3 days is ready for threshing. To maintain the viability of the seed and to avoid mechanical damage, threshing should be done at 350 to 400 RPM. RPM is the speed of the machine, speed of the thresher, which is round per minute. The threshold soybean, the threshed soybean should again be allowed to sun drying for 3 to 4 days. Means the grains should be dried for 3 to 4 days more in order to bring down the moisture up to 10%. So 10% is considered as right moisture percentage for storage. What happens if at that time the moisture is more during the storage, say 16%, 18%, then life of the seed will be reduced. If you have high moisture in the seed and high temperature, it attracts number of insect pests that can eat your seed or that can reduce the seed quality also. Similarly, at high moisture, high temperature, you can have infestation by certain fungi in the storage. So therefore, it is desirable to have right moisture for storage of soybean, and in general it has to be around 10% moisture in the seed. The storage place should be cool with aeration and insect free. You can have one go down can be there depending upon the yield, the quantity of the product that you are going to store. The storage structure will change. So if you have very large number of bags, then these go downs are used. Otherwise, local koti, kutla and some bins, variety of storage structures are available that can be taken. But there has to be proper aeration in the go downs, and these go downs should be treated with insecticide also in advance, and proper cleaning of those go downs is necessary. Somebody can go for fumigation of those go downs so that the insect remains are cleaned. So storage place should be cool with aeration and insect free. It is necessary to make it insect free, otherwise infestation will be very easy for the new seed. Bag should be kept upright as far as possible. Now, you have seen the harvesting and threshing of soybean. Let us go for processing of soybean, that is value addition of soybean. So, farmers can earn good profit if they sell their product, value added product, not the raw soybean. So, there is a wide range of whole soybeans, soya flour and soya protein isolate based products that are being produced in the country. So, these are follows. So, soya milk, many of you must have tasted it, tofu and other derivatives, soya milk powder, textured soya protein, nuggets and granules, soya protein isolate, concentrate based products, protein bars are also available in the market, soya fortified flours, a variety of bakery products are available, soya fortified snacks, ready to eat foods, soya nuts, soya noodles, ready to eat energy foods, Indian traditional fermented foods, tempeh, soya based meat analogues and soybean oil. So, number of products are there and they can be manufactured for value addition and more profit can be earned. So, overall what we have seen today in this lecture, we started with the management of insect pests and then diseases, then harvesting and threshing. Dear student, it is necessary to go for integrated pest management strategy. Either it is insect management or disease management. Under both the circumstances, we need to go for integrated management. So, what are the major components of IPM? You have already learnt. The important one includes the crop rotation. Crop rotation is the key to prevent infestation by insect, pests and diseases, and one can easily go for intercropping and mixed cropping that also reduces the invasion by insect, pests and diseases. Similarly, option of these resistant or tolerant variety is also available. So, for certain insect pests and diseases, varieties have been developed. Those varieties can be adopted under these conditions. A large number of botanicals are available, like neem based pesticide are available that can be employed to control insect pests and diseases. Similarly, some cultural practices are also important to prevent the attack of insect pests and diseases. These cultural practices may include the The first one could be the optimum plant population. That can be managed by optimum seed rate and optimum spacing. Go for the best spacing, go for the best seed rate and optimize the population. As you have seen today that too much of population can invite more insect pests and disease. So right population is also necessary. Similarly, you need to go for proper cultural operations. The cleaning or sanitation is also important. Similarly, summer deep plowing is also part of IPM packages. In summer deep plowing, the plowing can be done in the month of say April when fields are free, or late April to early May. During May and June, the fields are free. So we can go for summer deep plowing, which is quite useful because at that time atmospheric or air temperature may be 45 or 46 or little higher than that. So that can kill the weed seeds, that can kill the eggs of the insect and diseases, etc. Summer deep plowing may also increase the availability of nutrients and so on. So overall, all these practices including your crop rotations, botanicals, etc. And if all these do not work, then farmer need to go for chemical use of insecticide, use of fungicides, etc. can be done. See, seed treatment. Seed treatment is the cheapest way to control the insect pests and diseases, particularly diseases. Seed treatment with suitable fungicide, we have already discussed, I have provided you the list of the fungicides that are suitable, and sometimes the seed should be treated with insecticide also, because in case of soybean you have seen that this white fly is a serious pest and it also transmits the virus, yellow mosaic virus. So it is better to control this white fly. If we control this white fly, then spread of the virus is stopped or spread of the virus is limited then. So what can be done? We can treat the seed with imidacloprid. Imidacloprid or thiomethoxam can be used to treat the seed, and that way we will not have infestation by the white fly, and also we can prevent the spread of yellow mosaic virus. So overall, it can be said that integrated pest management is the right way to control the insect pest management and diseases. And also in harvesting and threshing, you have seen that the crop should be harvested at right time. Cleaning is necessary after the threshing, and drying is equally important. The pods should be dried, the crop should be dried, and finally seeds should be dried. This seed should be put in the storage at right temperature, right humidity. Aeration has to be there in the storage place, particularly godowns, etc. And all the cleaning operations should be done in the storage structure, and the moisture percent in seed for storage is about 10%. So I hope that you have enjoyed this lecture. Thank you very much.